Hello everyone and welcome. I'm a specialist in modern hotel operations and AI performance support, and it's a real pleasure to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to this part of your online learning journey. Today we are diving into one of the most high-stakes moments in the life of any new hotel, the operational simulation.
So let's get one thing straight right from the get-go. These pre-opening events, they're often mistaken for parties, but they are not celebrations. Think of them as the final, brutal stress test of a brand new bridge. Their sole purpose is to find every single weakness before it has a chance to impact a paying guest.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with why these simulations are so critical, what we'll call the final proving ground. Then we'll get into how to actually design one of these stress tests. We'll cover the vital role of leadership in capturing data, how to review what you found, and finally, how to turn every single flaw into perfection for opening day.
Okay, so let's jump into our first section. We're talking about that nail-biting period between when you finish training your staff and the moment your very first guest arrives. This is where all that theory has to collide with reality.
And here's the fundamental problem, right? You can have the best trained staff in the world, a chef who knows every recipe by heart, a server who knows every single step of service. But that doesn't mean they can work together as a single, synchronized unit when the pressure is on. Individual skill is one thing, a resilient operational system is something else entirely.
And that is exactly where an operational simulation comes in. It's a diagnostic tool. Don't think of it as just a rehearsal. It's a highly sophisticated stress test for every single process, every piece of tech, and every line of communication you have.
So, the big question is, how do we design a simulation that actually gives us valuable data? Well, it's not about throwing a party. It's a very methodical process.
And this is a really important distinction. A friends and family party, that's for morale. The feedback you get is, oh, the food was lovely. An operational mock service, on the other hand, is for system failure analysis. The feedback there sounds like Table 12's ticket time was 19 minutes, which is 4 minutes over our SLA. Why? One is social, the other is clinical. The key here is you don't just throw everyone into the deep end. You build the pressure in stages. First, maybe you only test the back of house. Is the kitchen line flowing? Is the pass sufficient? Then you start to layer in the front of house complexity, messing with the POS, splitting checks, throwing in some tricky guest issues. And only then do you unleash the full stress test, simulating absolute peak hour chaos to see what really breaks. Now this brings us to a really crucial and honestly kind of counterintuitive point, and it's all about the role of leadership during these tests. Their job is not what you might think it is. You see, a manager's first instinct when they see a problem is to jump in and solve it, right? But during a simulation, that is the absolute worst thing they can do. Their only job is to step back with a stopwatch and a clipboard and document every single failure. Why? Because if they jump in and fix it, you never learn if the system itself could have handled it. And the data you're capturing has to be concrete. It has to be tied to your standard operating procedures. For example, a critical service level agreement, your SLA, that's a core promise you make, might be that no dish takes longer than 15 minutes from order to table. That's a hard number, and this simulation is where you prove you can hit it. And you are scrutinizing everything. We're talking about ticket times, of course, but also, how do the server cash-out procedures work? How clean is the handoff from the kitchen to the servers? Does the POS system actually talk to the kitchen printers correctly? If a guest has a severe allergy, is that communication pathway to the kitchen 100% foolproof? These are the details that make or break a guest's experience.
Okay, so you've run the test, you've got pages of notes on everything that went wrong. Now what? Because let's be honest, all that data is completely useless unless you have a structured process for turning it into actual improvements. And that brings us to the most valuable part of this entire exercise, the after-action review, or AAR. The whole mindset, the philosophy behind a great AAR boils down to this one question. How do we turn these mistakes into improvements to our system, instead of just pointing fingers at people? The goal is to fix the process, not blame the person. And the way you do that is with this incredibly disciplined 4-question framework. Right after the simulation, the entire team huddles up. First, you state the standard. What was supposed to happen? Second, objective facts only. What actually happened? Third, you dig deep for the root cause. Why was there a difference? And finally, and most importantly, what are we going to do to fix it? This right here, this is the secret sauce. This is the culture that separates a good operation from an elite one, and it's a philosophy that is absolutely central to your training.
When the whole team truly believes that every mistake is a gift, a chance to make the system stronger, you build this incredible culture of constant improvement.
All right, we're on to our final step. We're going to see how all of this analysis gets turned into a tangible, concrete plan for opening day. Because the output of the AAR isn't just a good conversation, it's a powerful document.
And that document is the corrective action log. Think of this as the master blueprint for your final fixes. It's a living document where every single issue you found is recorded, and it tracks who's responsible for fixing it, the deadline, and the confirmation that the fix has been retested. It's your ultimate safety net.
And the fixes you find are often systemic things, not staff skill issues. It could be something as simple as a crucial button on the POS screen being in the wrong place, causing delays. Or maybe there's no clear spot for servers to drop dirty dishes, which creates a huge bottleneck. These are the exact kinds of design flaws that simulations are made to uncover.
And so I want to leave you with this question to carry with you throughout your careers. Is your operation just trained, or is it truly guest-ready? Because a trained team knows the playbook, but a guest-ready team, they've been through the fire. They've been tested under pressure, they've failed, they've learned from it, and they have built a resilient system that is proven to deliver excellence. That is the critical difference.